It's a boost! It's an
Welcome to Officially Gas. Let's get it.
For the best in universal premium ester-containing engine oils and fuel additives for both petrol and diesel engines, check the links in the description. So we set out to turbo the box in the most budget-friendly way possible and purchased what we believe to be the cheapest, fully comprehensive turbo kit in the world. However, it just wasn't straightforward, and after a bit of fettling, adjustments and additional parts, this box was finally ready to make some power. Then Dyno Day arrived and it all went wrong. On a quest to double the car's original power, we attempted to shoot for 440 brake horsepower plus. However, no matter what we tried, the turbo just wouldn't give us the boost to make any more than 370 brake horsepower, 70 bhp below our target. In desperation and on a pursuit in the name of science, we decided to take a risk, and with a bit of jiggery pokery, we made her make boost. But it turns out, it was just a little bit too much boost. But before we tell you exactly what damage was caused to the car on the dyno and tell you how silly we're now going with this box sleeper, I think it's fair to say we have truly found the limits of the budget turbo kit. And I think it's time for a long-awaited price breakdown. Here's how much it costs to build this box to this level. And I actually nearly died when I found out how much money this car has cost me. Are you ready? £9,647.50 excluding VAT. Oops. Yes, a crazy amount of money. However, I've done quite a few things that you possibly wouldn't have to do to get to 370 brake horsepower on this turbo kit. The first big one is labour, of course, on a job like this, and it's not cheap. That came in at £3,500. But if you've got the know-how to fit a kit like this on your own, well, that's a massive saving already. Secondly, I opted to go down the standalone ECU route with the complete kit coming in at £1,300. However, some people are able to turbo and map the car on the standard ECU. So again, there's another saving. Additionally, I opted for 1000cc injectors from Gravitune as we didn't believe the 465cc injectors that came with the kit were man enough to double the car's power. However, after looking into it, we believe that the 465cc injectors would just about get you to 370 brake horsepower. I paid £600 for my uprated injectors, so again, there's another saving to be had. And finally, because we all know I'm about to kick this box head in, I future-proofed it with a twin plate clutch, which cost me £900. However, after doing some investigation on the internet as to what clutch might get you to 370 brake horsepower, I found one for £385, which should just about hold the power and torque. So there is another £515 saving. So I'm saying, after all of those deductions, at an absolute minimum, if you're happy with 370 brake horsepower, you could actually complete a turbo conversion for a much more enticing £3,732.50. But trust me, you would be on the limit of certain components. Even so, I think that brings it right back down into an actual budget sleeper, should you want to go down that route. And now we're all on the same page, let's go and have a chat to Sanj to let you know exactly what happened to the car on the dyno and what damage was caused. Fireman Sanj, have you recovered from last time?
Yes, I think I've recovered inside my pants.
People thought the turbo exploded or the engine exploded.
I think it's more of a chain of events. Engine mounts obviously broke.
You say obviously, but people don't know that.
It did, they broke. And there was too much movement. As the engine obviously at the higher boost rocked upwards, the downpipe has obviously hit the oil return. At the same time, the bearing in the turbo's gone and oil's just come out of both places and then obviously set alight. This is obviously the turbo. You see the size of it, it's not the biggest, and that's obviously the hot side there. But if you look at the V-band as well, they're not interlocking V-bands. So I think the oil's obviously come out of here because we see a spray of oil on top of the downpipe, which obviously set alight as well.
Yeah, there's way too much spray.
Yeah, this is a typical example of what will happen to a turbo when you overspeed it.
This kit, we are fairly certain, would get you to 370 brake or thereabouts.
Yeah, so you get what, 120, 30 horsepower extra for a turbo this size. I think it's peaking at 10 psi, going down to about 7 psi.
Sure.
If we'd have left it like that, and you were happy with that, we could have left it.
I'm not happy
no,
with
you
that.
weren't.
And what I did say at the end of the video was that this time round, if we're putting a different turbo in it, I don't want double the horsepower anymore. I want triple the horsepower. This might be a little bit of a push now.
Yes.
We might be absolutely taking the piss,
Yeah.
trying to do what we're gonna do. But to attempt it anyway, for science sake, we decided that we're gonna go with a bigger turbo.
You decided, yeah.
And now we're moving to phase 2.
Yes.
Silly face.
Yes, it is. But I suppose at least we know what this turbo application, this cheap Chinese turbo can actually do. It does work, don't get us wrong. With a bit of modification, a couple of extra bits, it does actually work, but only to that point.
So now, should we tell them and show them what I've opted for
Yeah.
with phase 2?
Put your camera down there and you'll see.
All right, let's swing it down here, guys, and hopefully that is picking that up. And what the people at home are witnessing right now and viewing is a Pulsar GTX 3582R.
Yes.
800 brake horsepower turbo.
Yes. Quite an important thing as well, that turbo had an external wastegate, internal, yeah?
Yep.
And we've gone for an external. So at the back on your original manifold, admittedly it fits
Yep.
with an adapter plate, and we've hidden a external wastegate there.
Down there, yep.
With the screamer pipe coming back over the turbo.
I want to keep this as a sleeper. So a lot of people will put a screamer pipe out of the bonnet, I'm guilty of it too, or out the wing or something like that. Ours is just going down to the floor. So essentially you don't know it's there, but when this car comes on boost, all hell will break loose. Guys, do you remember when we got this turbo kit? It had about 6 or 7 gauges. The guys down here at VARATECNIK have fitted them.
So my brother was trying to work out how to mount them and stuff. It's more like a cockpit.
So what I wanted to do is I wanted to keep things stealth. So I wanted it in the glove box. And it's also on a gas strut. So basically, when this is down, it won't just be bouncing around, and it does close, but it's not quite finished. So it sounds a little bit louder than before, but we'll get to that, we'll get to that.
Right, so we've got oil temp,
Oil temp,
you got boost,
boost here.
yep. You got exhaust temp, but the exhaust temp one we couldn't use because your turbo hasn't got a EGT in it. The next one's a wideband air fuel ratio. The other one's a water temp, that one there.
Water temp,
Then
yeah.
you got oil pressure.
And oil pressure.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's a bit fierce, but it's only shockers will be confined for the right side.
Yeah, the car is ticking over right now. But if you remember, it was a very, very quiet sounding turboed VR. Could you just tickle the throttle? Just a little tickle. So we got a nice note going on here. And I think what we'll do is put the car in the air, show you the bits from underneath, the turbo, the wastegate, and also what we fitted now to hopefully aid us with power, but definitely aid us with noise. There was a lot going on that dyno day, including a loud squealing noise that kept happening.
If you look at the metal cage here on the prop shaft donut, where the engine was rocking so much, it was hitting the exhaust. And then the screeching noise we were getting, it was only on the come down because of it, because when the time John put his foot down, the engine was rocking back up that way. The subframe mount itself was totally perished. So we've gone for the VARATECNIK engine mount and the lower one as well, just to stiffen it up to stop any more and doing it again. Tried it with the standard ones, then it lasted. Plus they were very old. And then also, obviously with this new turbo, we've had to obviously change sort of downpipe and stuff and the rest of the exhaust and everything else.
Yeah.
We do feel as if there's a bit of restriction on the old part of the exhaust system, which is obviously here and here. So we've got obviously your thingy. I don't know what to call it. What do you call it?
I don't know, people. What do you call this? So essentially what this does, for anyone who is saying it was the restriction of the exhaust causing the turbo not to make any more boost, which we're pretty sure it wasn't.
No.
But anyway, just to alleviate that, just in case we're trying to make a lot more boost and a lot more power and this exhaust does become a restriction, well, instead of putting a whole new exhaust on and also keeping it nice and stealthy from the back, and quiet when we want it to be, we have added a dump tube. And the way this operates is by a valve, a motorized valve, which also comes with a very, very fancy remote. Look at that. So unlock, it looks like a garage remote.
Yeah, it does.
But no, it doesn't. It actually unleashes the VR from this engine, and we will start it up in a second to show everyone at home how crazy this sounds. And funnily enough, now on tick over, because this dump pipe lets a little bit of air through it, it actually gives us the car
a raspy
sound.
sound.
A little bit of a raspy, nice sound now. So we've got sleeper mode when we kind of want it, and we've got angry mode when we need it. On top of that, now we have the externally gated turbo with the screamer, which is kind of tucked right up through there, which is very hard to see. Once this comes on boost and this valve is open,
it's going to be loud.
as you guys can see from here, we have got our big Pulsar GTX 3582R sitting right there. These turbos are known to take abuse. In fact, I actually run one on my Integra, and that says a lot. So it is the creme de la creme of Chinese Wuhan whistlers. Shall we get someone in the car? We put it back up in the air. We'll demonstrate our dump tube, which was 104 pounds, I believe.
I don't know. I wasn't involved in it.
All right, Badger, when you're ready, sir, start her up. So it's already got a nice purr to it.
Yeah.
It already ticks over nicely. So, okay.
You can actually hear isn't the turbo different?
You can hear it, listen.
Yeah, look.
Look at the engine rocking. One more. It's still on the battered engine mounts, people. But now what we're gonna do is we're gonna press this little unlock button right here, and that happened. It's a beast. It's one more. Yeah, boy. Now we're talking. Now watch it. Back to quiet.
That's it.
Off the side. It wasn't me making all that noise.
No.
I promise. All right, it's gone. I'll put it back in quiet mode, just like that. £100 off eBay, best purchase ever. We'll put it in the air and I'll show you exactly how it operates. All right, Sanj, so we're starting at the back of the car because I just want everyone to hear the exhaust with the valve closed from the back.
Okay.
So could we get a couple of revs, please? Okay, so that's how it sounds from the back.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think there's any need to be at the back anymore.
No.
So this is where we're getting our additional noise from. It lets a little bit by. Don't worry about the movement on the exhaust.
Yeah.
That'll be sorted.
out.
But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press the button. Give us a roll. And then, like it never happened. Like it never happened. So Sanj, for today, that's pretty much it. This car is pretty much ready, once it's got the engine mounts, to go back onto the dyno. A little bit of fettling with the turbo pipes, but back on the dyno. And I think that's the next time people are going to meet us. So get your fire extinguisher at the ready, because brother, I need to see over 600 brake horsepower in this car.
I'm going to need a fire suit, and or something.
Now you know our plans, where we're at with the car. We've got a beastly turbo on this bad boy, a turbo that is known for making good power, but the real question is, can the completely stock engine handle the power? Can the inlet handle the power? And if it survives, will I be able to handle the power? For now, we'll leave you with that. We've got a Savage on our hands. Next video is mapping. We'll get John Lamsey back down. So guys, if you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button because you do not want to miss it. Is all I'm saying. Also, check out VARATECNIK because, yes, you guys don't do box builds.
It ruined my reputation.
No, these guys do proper builds, like, you know, nice and real quality work. So check them out. I'll leave links down below in the description to them. And once again, I hope you've enjoyed the video and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.